That
What?
and
What
there's
is that?
some
Olympia. Olympia's
there's
mom is quite a figure.
there's whole things there's a whole thing about like uh Alexander's horse or something. That there's this Greek euphemism for like the man who impregnates your wife. And
Bucephalus?
no, so
No, what's his name?
and the theory is that like what is often
Elaphron?
attributed to be his Alexander's like lover, Hephaestion, was actually her son. There's like this is like a conspiracy theory. This is not like
Okay.
super rigorous scholarship, but I think it's really fucking interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, there's a
On
lot of
that
room for who are these people.
on that note, welcome to episode 66 of Pendragon.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Boy King era. Speaking
Uh,
of,
bot in chat.
yeah, I kicked it. I should have killed it.
Kill it. Show me its corpse.
I don't know how they. Don't know
Oh,
why
are we
they.
streaming? Is that...
Yeah,
Oh,
I started it. How's it going, everybody? Yeah. No, on that note, I don't know. I was like, are we ready? On
Yeah,
that note, sorry. Yeah, no, we're ready to go. Episode 66, year 515, part 1. There is a tremendous storm that blows through Salisbury, bringing down lightning and hail. Something terrible has happened.
Huh.
All right. No, definitely not. All right. So it is springtime. You all have plenty of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
How would we like to proceed before I jump in?
Well, I know for myself, there's several things to it. Totally writing a letter to the queen, just affirming my commitment, and I just am so happy that Jean Arthur's reign has been so peaceful this after so much war, and really thankful for that. And,
who do you entrust to write this letter?
Gordon was trained in the church as a page, and he knows how to write.
You know your letters, so you're doing it yourself.
He knows his letters. Yep.
All right. Awesome. Then.
And then he's going to do that, and then he's not trying to do any poetry or like something impressive. He's very like he knows his letters, but he's not exactly a man of letters.
Sure. All right. Quick compose for me.
Compose.
This will be whether or not Guinevere leaves her message unread.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see.
Because there's no doubt that you will write the best letter you can. It's a question of whether or not it.
Assuming it's not a terrible fumble here.
No, I mean with the compose, not quite. Yeah, with a compose of 1.
Nope.
Yep. Oh yeah. There's a shortcut of a messenger arriving. I guess they're probably in Carleon right now, and Arthur and Guinevere, that is, and Guinevere gets the herald or whatever announces all the letters, and you see your letter is in a pile with 1,000 other letters.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Indiana Jones situation.
Certain that this letter will be read.
Yeah.
It could not be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
She of reads all of them. She's the queen. And then assisting Sir Keith in any way with this wolf business, including calling in all of Sir Gorthron's hunting buddies if need be.
Yeah. We will get to that. But
okay.
Acewin.
I had some thoughts about that with Mercy of the Bourne.
Yeah. That probably is a good lead into what Acewin is doing. Acewin wants to formalize the Knights of the Bourne as a thing. Her father's pragmatic confederation of self-interest, mutual self-interest, no longer fucking necessary. Not in the way it was years ago. But she thinks it's worthwhile, and she thinks it is something he was interested in doing, and like as a legacy, it's sort of the only thing she has to really latch onto. So she's latching onto it. Yeah. And wants to make like a proto knightly order type thing.
Okay. Then I will pin that because we're gonna have to be dealing with that going into Sarum and stuff. And there's
Okay.
gonna I have some stuff already pinned for what's gonna happen in Sarum, so
It's all good.
that will be all part of that part. All right, but let's handle this wolf business then. All right, because that could happen independently of like Sarum politics.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm glad we're here with Keith because I would say that Keith has comes to you like as we're like gathering sort of the hunting party, um, and tells of a terrible dream he has, and sees your father in it, and that you're in the midst of a battle against Saxons, and just you're like that's all. It's just that it's like but it seemed very real and very visceral, and that something this storm like something uh has shaken Britain.
Well,
They've
something
I I never felt anything like it before. I've been doing this for a while.
is my father. Should
I don't know.
we call it the huntsman?
No, I think we should continue, but we should be on our guard. Who knows what we'll find?
Yeah, who knows?
The game
Um,
has changed.
I'm going to assume that he's talking about the sort of the spiritual
Yeah,
dimensions of this that
yeah.
Gorthridge is
That there
not big
exactly,
into. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. All right, here. So Gorthridge's sort of plan was to one of the reasons things he wanted to do is like just talk to all the people who have manors around the shoot to see if they have similar whatever, like to spend the spring sort of visiting places like Newton Tony and Bulford and Tipton and Greatly,
Yeah, definitely.
and that he
So
could enlist. He had several hunting buddies as well as Sir Aceman.
okay, no, it makes perfect sense to me. All right. So Newton Tony is Sir Frayed.
Which
Another one.
one?
Another
This is
one.
a
The
new
lesser.
a new
New
one.
one. New one. Yeah.
Okay.
New Sir Frayed. They are copy over. They are rough, rough looking with long hair and beard. They are honest. And they are known for their flirting.
Oh, hey now.
They have their religion tends more towards pagan than Christian. So I would say that they also have been dealing with this wolf, and they've been thinking about bringing it up, but they didn't want to look weak. But yeah, they could
No,
use
we're
some help.
neighbors. We're neighbors. Generosity is a pagan virtue as well.
Perfect. Yep.
Actually, what he's been working on increasing. So
Right. The next one. So you going to Newton Tony? Do you want to go to Kimpton, or do you want to go south? What was the next one?
I kind of want to, yeah, I kind of want to go to Kimpton and then Greatly,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just if that first.
All right. So then, so let me put him in chat here, right? So Frayed is Newton Tony, so we can all keep track. Owain is Greatly. Owain is a large, kind of a gentle giant figure. It's not as big as you though, so I guess he's kind of like moderate size. But he is known for being a big fan of the Earl, as though the Earl has kind of indebted to him a little bit.
Mhm.
But but he also is known for making great speeches.
Hmm.
However, he also has a very strong streak of being merciful.
Good for him.
So he's yeah. So he gets compared to you a lot, and I think and he's I don't want to be that. I'm not
Sure.
like I'm not you.
He's his own man. Of
Yeah.
course. Of course. Respect.
All right.
And then Kimpton.
Yep. So Kempton is a Glessig. So Glessig. They are bony with a wiry face, but they have a very precise voice. They are uh, generous but lazy. They are also extremely loyal to Rofus. I think maybe part of the way why they're super loyal to Rofus recently is I think these are all younger knights, and so I think the like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a great job and super eager to please and wants to, yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, and these are all the manners that before the push to get them sort of as grants instead of gifts, that they were passed it down anyway. And then like the next year, the uh,
Everything changed. Yeah.
the countess was killed.
Yep.
So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So you got it.
that's where we're at. Okay. Well, basically the pitch is, asking questions about the wolf when it attacks. Has anything happened? Have
Yeah.
they seen anything? Can we talk to their peasants?
Yeah. Well, they don't know why you want to talk to the peasants because the peasants don't know anything. But
Truffle birders or
yeah,
pig herders that spend time in the shoot forest.
yeah, but they would certainly tell you that the wolves that you've spotted, they've heard it less, not so many attacks, but it does come by about every month or so.
Mostly what
Yeah.
at this point Borthwick's looking for is direction.
Sure.
Like if he can start figuring out like where it might lair, what part of the forest it might have its lair in, or at least where it attacks from, we might be able to find a trail.
Yeah. So the hard part. So like we'll kind of zoom in on this part here of the forest where you all are like tracking like a promising lead of like the wolf prints and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
it always seems to be the case that these wolf prints tend to disappear when they get either by a road or a river, and then you end up finding like human footprints every so often. Like someone is like someone owns this dog, right? Or like picks up this dog.
Yeah, yeah. Can we track the origin of the
Yeah,
like?
and that's the part where we're coming into it, being like,
Okay,
where are these things going? What's going on? Because it's not like a clear like video game footprints ever so often, just because you're kind of like looking for these dog prints, and then
right,
like
right.
your
Can't put on
hounds
my
can't
Whisper
help
Vision
you.
and see it.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't. What's going on? Something has changed.
Yeah, yeah. I hold down the shoulder too. And,
Yeah.
track.
Mm-hmm. So you're deep right now in the shoot forest, bordering the Harewood. Right. So you went through Kempton Greatly. You're somewhere like not near Monkston, like that main road. Like you're off this road, right?
Okay, we're deep in it.
Yeah, you are deep in it. So,
These are pretty thick woods, right? Like
yes.
these aren't like, people mostly stick to the roads that are cut through them, and there's not really anybody that lives that too.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Uh,
Definitely not. These woods aren't like say like the Forest Sauvage or anything like that, but they're certainly extremely old.
mhm.
And I would imagine that some of the woods, maybe some peasants know them better than others. It is where you get all your mushrooms, and it's your grocery store.
Mhm.
But there's also there's a profound respect for it, and that you don't take more than you need.
Sure.
It is sort of listening, or it will ask from you in return. It's kind of like the
Okay.
so there's sort of like, yeah, a deep reverence for it, that it sort of has its own like its own entity.
Mhm. Mhm. Something's going down. All right.
Yeah, so you, give me a hunting roll as you're like pursuing these woods, or these through the woods, these footsteps. So it's sort of like, well, I mean, we keep finding these footprints, or like, what are we gonna do? And yeah, I think.
Do I get my dog? Like, are my dogs useful at all? Do they provide the
Oh,
bonus?
not anymore.
Okay.
So not for this case, right? So perfect. Like, you know, so we see Owain's like, man, Gorthram, we've been out here for hours.
Mm-hmm. Who lives out here?
Hermits. I mean, if my dad used to say that bandits used to live in these woods.
Always use practice to keep our sword arms and fighting strength.
Very well. Well, perhaps they'll still stand to listen to reason. No, he's the merciful one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
Gordon's got an energetic
Classics.
18 and valorous 20. It's like,
Yeah.
find this damn wolf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like if Sir Glessig is, if it's not feeling it, like,
Well, no, Glessig is kind of getting open to what Owain's sort of side of stuff, and so Glessig wants to know whether, so say we do find this wolf, and the owner of it, is the owner just as guilty?
Depends on what, if it's directing the attacks. So why not? Plenty of hares and deer in the forest that the wolf could eat.
Aye. But it preys on our flocks.
It does. Very least, we should sort it out.
Yeah. Right. And so it's sort of like these woods are kind of full of game, and so it is sort of strange that it's your places that are attacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens here is that you will all come across a knight, a hedge knight, basically deep in these woods here in kind of contemplation. You can sort of imagine you are sort of near what's this river? The Isthin, the one near Camelot, or maybe it's the other one. I don't remember. But you're by the river in the Harewood, and you can sort of contemplative knight, sort of praying by the stream, as your query tracks, and they'll kind of like stop what they were doing. They'll kind of get up from their prayer and ask you all what you all are doing here. So he's like, yeah. Well, what are you? A hunting party?
Yes.
Is there no game north there towards the chute where you're coming from? This is like a bedraggled knight, but you've seen this knight before. He is actually from, like, you've seen him in Camelot and stuff like that. This is a knight known as the Brown Knight of the Woods. So he is, so he's rather regal, but also sort of out here doing something on their own.
Yeah, we have seen him joust before, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. So like when you see and I don't think maybe the other knights point out to it. I feel like you would know all of like the fantasy Lancer stats. You know what I mean? You're like, oh man, that guy's has a 76% hit percentage. You know what I mean? Like,
this is their Aquilon de Sauvage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I love that you remember that.
Yeah, like I have it written, made it special in my notes. Aquilon, I'm surprised to see you here. We are hunting particularly Vexum wolf. He's preying on our flocks and followed some strange tracks here. Perhaps you could enlighten us. Perhaps you seek the same quarry.
Oh, you great. You honor me, knowing me, but I wish I could return the favor, knights. I'm afraid I do not know who you are.
So go through Jolderton.
Jolderton? I've heard good things about you. You're the one with the mace. He's like, wait, no, you're the one with the mace. Yeah, look, the size of you could be no other.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, you and your brave companions. So this wolf. No, sorry, I'm not on any hunt these times, but yes, I have heard stories of such a wolf, such a creature. For it is not, I fear, not just a wolf.
Go on.
My brother has told me of a story that a knight crossed paths with a witch. And through some disagreement. Wasn't unsure that he was transformed. But ever so often he is freed.
Transform how?
If he's in these woods, it has probably something to do with the Black Tower.
Black Tower.
No. Not far from here, up in Redichin. Tower of Black Stone. By a cave.
Hmm.
You know what I speak of?
I mean, we haven't really been, Northern hasn't really been around religion that much, I don't think.
No, this was your dad.
And that's, yeah, and I don't think an Orwin never spoke of it.
Right.
You know?
But yeah, no, it is that same tower that we've seen before.
Mm-hmm. No, Gordon's like, I've never heard of it. Man, religion, no Black Tower, no cave.
Mm.
Is that where we can find the wolves?
And that's when the Brown Knight mentions this stuff, you see Keith is like, oh. And then that's when you see sort of the Brown Knight look at Keith, and there's sort of this sort of unspoken acknowledgement of one another, of sort of not a reverence, but a serious, it's the gravity of it, the seriousness of this. And so you felt it too. He says to Keith, not knowing the Knight, Sir Knight, and Keith's like, yes, I know that of what you speak. It has chilled the very heart of me. And I can tell you are one of valor. Just like me, I had also admit it has given me doubts of what purpose. I'm sorry, Knights, sorry to bother you. It's just, if you're going that way, please, tread carefully. There's something very wrong.
Thank you. Thank you for the warning.
Yeah.
Looking around at his camp, is it like, what's the state of it?
He's just here with his horse. Like, he hasn't, he's like riding through, right? He hasn't set up camp or anything like that. I imagine it's sort of late day. Like, he's probably eating his supper.
Right. This isn't like,
but like it's not like he's not sleeping here. Yeah, he has other things that's going on. But yeah, apparently he has come here to think and contemplate over this fortress, just like what Keith and whatever this storm brought in.
Yeah. But anybody? I mean, I'm guessing nobody here knows anything about a Black Tower.
No.
Sounds like something at the east.
No. Yeah, they're like, I never heard of a Black Tower. They're like, that it sounds mystical. It sounds certainly maybe fairy. Someone I think probably like Owen brings it up, like thinking that might be a little kind of off base to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait.
What would fairies do with a tower? They had the woods. It's like Glass's like, come on, you big oaf. Like, those sort of contraptions wouldn't be their style.
Something else then.
That's something else. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
awesome.
You've heard the legend of the Wolf Knight, and second of all, it has something to do with this Black Tower.
All right.
But still no sign of this wolf. Don't worry, there will be. Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately your hunt's going to come back empty-handed here, as you need time to prepare for going to Sarm.
Sure.
And that's when, Acewin, you receive a visitor. Also, thanks for being so patient while we did a little...
No, it's fine.
Yeah. You receive a visitor for Morgan has come back.
Ah, yes. Morgan.
In tow with a copy of Garrett's Chronicle.
Yeah.
And Morgan has come to you and say, Ace, when I know we don't have a rapport like I've had with your father, but and she kind of like gets down on a knee and says, I've come here asking to serve you and to continue this legacy. During my time transcribing this, I've been moved by this story, and I will be happy to work here. And as long as I can stay for lodging and stuff, I will waive my fees. She asked to join your retinue.
She who?
Morgan.
Oh,
He.
Morgan
Sorry,
was a
he.
he.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was.
My bad.
No,
Morgan.
I wasn't sure if I was misremembering.
I have other Morgans that are she that I
Fair.
wrong on my note. Yeah.
I think Acewin is honestly baffled by this.
Yeah.
And I was like, Morgan, one of the few things I know my father said about you was that you were a bit like a venereal disease for Winterborn Gunnet, in that we would have to live with you for the rest of our lives. I'm sorry if I gave any impression that you were going anywhere.
Perhaps it took a return trip to London to realize what it is out here. This
the smell can linger. Yes. Morgan,
it smells better than London.
Paying you. I'm going to keep paying you, and you're going to stay here and continue to. Well, damn it, you're part of the estate. You understand?
I'm very pleased with that. I thank you so much. Yeah, so there's some here, please. And they go to their sack, like off their horse, right? And they pull out this sort of like bound manuscript, right? And they're like, please, here, like, he's so excited about this, right? Yeah. Everything about it, it's like this is his work.
Yeah, I think Ace was excited too, because like this is a big expenditure of money, and again, Acewin is still very much grappling with the legacy of Gareth. Like, who the fuck was he? And like now this can help. Like Morgan was there for a lot of this.
Yeah, and Morgan feels extremely flattered right now that like you're like, oh no, I absolutely will. I still pay you, like, because he literally showed up being like, listen, I want to do this almost for free. You know what I mean? Like, this is how much this means to me. And you're like, oh no, like you're hired on. Don't worry about it.
Acewin's like, I feel bad that he thought he was not gonna have a job here. I've just taken it for granted that he was gonna stick around.
And so then he's trying to like read your energy, right? As he's like holding this book, and he's like, do you want to go look over it?
I think there is. It's funny you mentioned London. Gawthron wouldn't shut up about some new clothes that were coming in a year or so. And while we were there, we got something, this nice claret, and I've been meaning to drink it. It's the day for it. I was going to have my wife sit with me in the hall, and we'd read this. And why don't you join us, and we'll drink some claret?
I would love nothing more.
Yeah, I think Aeson's going to go to her wife, and like before heading to the Great Hall to like have this reading rainbow time, she's gonna be like, I don't know Morgan that well. He was a friend, if you can say that my father had friends of my father. He's giving off a weird energy. And I know you're much better with people than I am, my love, my beauty. Do you mind sort of talking with him in the days to come and seeing why he's being weird?
Yeah, he's being very weird. All right, perfect. So you'll get a report basically after the feast.
Plus, I figure my wife is so fucking lazy. Like, this is definitely like sitting and talking with something. Like, this is well within our wheelhouse. I'm not asking her to go anywhere.
Yeah,
just talk to someone.
Someone you're literally going to see every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Beautiful. All right then. Is there anything else we should do before we go to the feast?
I don't know why we would.
Yeah.
Put off the feast. Why would that be in the way of our joy?
Because I have some things that are going to get in the way of your joy then.
Damn it, Eric.
Well, okay.
tweak it a
So I
little
had
bit.
one.
Oh, Grant, thank you.
I had one. If I
44.
don't know if we're ready. Speederin of like last year said that she was going to like look into this. Somebody stirring up trouble about Gorthrin's past. Has anything come of that?
Yes. So that was one of the things that I was going to come get back to you. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, it's on the radar.
Yep. Okay. So, in fact, maybe Sweeter would be the one who breaks the news to you even before the Earl does. Sweeterin has done some digging over there, and Sweeterin has come back good news and bad news. The bad news is that they haven't exactly discovered who it is, but they think that it's an enemy of Marjorie.
Okay.
But that could be many.
Right.
But second, the Earl has plans for you. Arthur has Arthur and Guinevere, after talking around the round table to Lord Rofus, asking about great knights. Apparently, Rofus has taken a little bit of a keen eye to you and is going to probably give you a gift.
Oh.
But she's a little worried. And so Sweeterin has a decent intrigue. Swedern's a little worried that this gift is going to try to reduce the promised money from your ransom, if that makes sense.
So, like, he's going to give me this gift, and this like, well, we've already given
It's
you something.
It's more like a trade. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you would just feel compelled to donate. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Right. It would be gauche not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the one of the main reasons why she failed to come up with the enemy is that the over there the land sort of in turmoil. For Till's Head and Orchestran have not seen Balin since the storm.
Balin's missing?
Correct.
We need the sword to surveil.
Yeah, the Knight of Two Swords is missing.
All right.
Don't like that.
Don't like that. That's definitely a bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Not a great mouthfeel.
No. Hey, so just be careful.
Right.
So, like, basically, like, if you head over, I don't know what you would call that land, like, basically the Vagon regional stuff, and first, like, Till's Head, like, somewhere between, do I even have you all on the right map? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Between
is,
Uphaven, Till's Head, and Vagon, right? Like, that sort of eastern side of the map. I can bring it to
the flats, right? That's all, like, the flat land before you get to Ambrosius's Dyke and the hills and stuff.
We're talking about, this is like a NFL drawing a circle over the map. Well, you want to see here, you got to move the ball. So yeah, it's like this sort of area. So all of this, Winterhorn Stoke, etc., Shrewton, and again, that's sort of like where Marjorie is from. So like all of the news here is like, well, like the Lord hasn't been here since winter. Like, what's going on with him, right?
Yeah, that would cause that whole thing to be going downhill.
Yeah, and so a lot of the news about who's going on has been sort of pushed this way. But again, after talking to Marjorie, apparently that's what Marjorie knows, is that you're going to be on the lookout for the Earl during this feast. All right,
I'll keep it here.
Right,
it's a gift that he could refuse. Yeah, he's refusing the Earl. That is a big.
Yeah, we'll see. And you want to talk to the Earl about chronicling the not chronicling, officializing the Order of the Bourne.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, yeah, so the Earl wants to give you a walk and talk through Sarum as you all are approaching. So obviously you can roll your fashions and stuff like that right now if you want to.
Yeah, let's get that done.
The Earl is like, a minute. of your time, Sir Gorthrin.
Certainly. Oh no.
Oh no.
Again. So this is for Aethelred, my
Yeah.
valet.
This is the
So
second time they fumbled.
it is. I'm taking note. I might be hiring someone new. No
Yeah.
offense, but I'm wondering. We established that Ethelred is Saxon, right?
Yes.
Saxon born, and her thing is trying to like learn the Kimric style.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Acewin might be getting to the point of wondering, like, am I still the experiment for this person's clothes? I kind of want to actually look good one of these days.
They shot. You know what? Aetherwood swings for the fences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Aethelred isn't the one who doesn't get to sit near the salt because of it.
It's true.
So this means, is there a penalty to my appearance
I
check?
believe it's a -2.
It's too, fuck me. All right. Come on. Nope.
So then Gorthrin is going to be below the salt.
Below the salt.
Oh, did we both fuck? Okay,
we
we're
both fucked up. But there's going this might change. So just hang on.
Yeah.
Right. So the earl takes you over to sort of like the council room. Right, sort of like the state chambers of the keep. And presenting you sort of the map of Salisbury as is. And says, so I've been thinking and talking to the king, Arthur, like we're on a first name basis. I'm trying to say. And I've been talking to Art. And and your name came up a couple of times. And I told him that you are a mighty warrior, and that that I should be keeping a good count of you and everything you've been doing. And I told him that you are absolutely a rising star, and because of that, I want to give you Till's head.
The Lord.
Oh yeah. Also talking to Arthur, I ran into Merlin. Apparently Balin is dead. He says like nonchalantly. Wine?
Yes.
But is this just Gorthrin and Rofus?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like Rofus like doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Because he just gave that stuff over like from the
Yeah. He's okay.
And honestly, they were all trying to just they're just stepping stones to be in Arthur's graces to him anyways, right? Kind of like what you are right now, if you didn't get that impression. And these glorious knights have just died, and he's like, I just, drink, just, it's so sad. We should commemorate him just for a second, but
certainly.
Yeah. So, anyways, I saw it fit that
the Knight of Two Swords, Lord.
Oh yeah,
like to know the circumstances of his death.
Yeah, you knew him well. You fought with his brother, and you captured the king.
Yes.
Yeah, it was incredible work, and because of that, I know how much you contributed to this. I felt it should go to you. Now I know that your house and stuff is on the Bourne, but you're gonna have to move.
Ooh, makes sense.
Till's Head is a castle, by the way.
Yeah.
Till's Head is an actual castle, like Mott Bailey. And two, Till's Head, everyone knows, sort of like, Salisbury lore-wise, that it's sort of made to defend against the realm of the fairy. Like, it's sort of like it's sort of past.
Okay. You said that the
this
king
puts you
recommended.
Just recommended that I treat you right, and I am treating you right, aren't I?
So I'm going to step out of Gorthrid's head.
I am a generous earl, aren't I?
Very generous. Very generous.
Right.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I think in Gorthrid's head, like the king's ransom is a lot of money, but it's not a title in a castle.
Are you going to bring that up though about the ransom? But basically, he's gifting you this castle in perpetuity.
Right. This
changes
part
it.
of
Yeah.
Right. This becomes Cohen's.
Yeah. You become
part of patrimony. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
you become Sir Gorthrin de Tilshead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like family name changes and everything.
Probably
if you want
it's
it,
it's Childerton.
Yep.
I mean, that's the other thing. I'll ask Gorthrin last year, would I keep Childerton?
Oh, absolutely.
And Arlington.
I wouldn't take that from you. That's not what a generous earl would do.
Certainly not. Certainly not. I can assume them.
Yeah.
Both of them, both Childerton and Arlington, need to be part of it. You know?
Since all of that misfortune that has brought me here today to preside, just like what my brother would do, what his wife would do, what their daughter would do, I just have to think that I am what they would do, and just make sure that the Salisbury remains the jewel of Logres.
Certainly.
Arthur knows that they can rely on us.
That part of Salisbury is in quite turmoil since Sir Valon's disappearance.
Well, it sounds like you have your hands full.
Sounds like it. Thank you.
No problem that you can't handle.
Certainly not.
I've heard your peasants love you.
Who cares what they think?
Perfect. Yes. So that will be a slight twist, but yes, you were rewarded with Tilshead.
Wow. Okay.
Fucking awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like, I mean, a fifth of a king's ransom. I mean, I'm not going to give that up without a fight necessarily, but while I have the Earl's ear.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to, just there any word then on the ransom of the Irish king, how that is proceeding.
Oh yeah, Ryan's. Yeah, and he's well, I was gonna save it till after the feast, but yeah, no, you're good.
Certainly, my lord.
Oh.
And I'll drink.
He kind of like holds his tongue, like he doesn't say the whole story. As he like.
Is there something else?
Oh. Well, it's just that I could secure one full payment and one half payment. So I don't know how Acewin's going to take it. But I know that Acewin didn't contribute as much as, you did. Perhaps you could work that over.
I'm sure
there it is.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, you only got one. The other one gets half. The other one gets half. Yeah.
Call Gorthrin Mr. Velvet Glove. You got to soft hand it to Acewin.
Yep.
Fuck.
I got Tilshead, and also you didn't get your whole check. But here's your opportunity, though, to say that, I leave it up to you how you describe it. You could you could split the money any other way, right? So he's like, you know what? I will give this to you, and you can see, and deal with it. So I believe the total then would be, it's basically 1.5 an amount, right? So I believe that's 350. Am I doing math right? I can't math right now.
What is the ransom for normal ransom? What's a
normally
full ransom for one?
Once you, I believe, splitting it up, you're owed 200. Right?
Well, that's because if Sir Valon isn't there, then it's no longer a 5-way split; it's a 4-way split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Well, would Balin's next of kin be owed his share?
Balin doesn't have any kids.
Okay.
All right.
Otherwise, they would be able to just give.
That's also why
Jill said. So.
Yeah, this is why Balin, and yeah, exactly. This is why you're able to smooth things over.
I thought I had it written down, but I guess I. Yeah. I was gonna say it was like 115 or something.
Hold
On
on, I have it
squires.
No,
written.
it was I. Okay.
Holdings.
Because I know what
Ba, ba,
Gorthon's going to
ba.
do with his
Control
share.
F ransom.
500 owed for King's Ransom is what I have on my sheet.
Okay, yeah. We need to get
So we
500. It was originally split 4 ways. Right.
I thought 500 was the split, but okay.
Oh, right. No, you're right. Yeah, that's already after the split. So yeah, so it's 500, and so then that's 750 total.
Yeah, 750 split between two.
Yep.
So 325 if we split it down the middle.
Yeah.
No, fuck, 375.
Yeah.
Something I don't. Why
I
I'm
got
not trying to do math.
Literally
It's
a computer.
500.
Magic. We're using magic
quarter-
machines.
375.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Gorthon's on the verge of being renowned for his generosity. So I'm perfectly fine splitting it halfway with Straitsman. I'm not going to let the Earl try to shortchange my friend. And once it's in my hands, it is my gift to give.
Yes.
So that's how we are going to play this.
Here is my question.
So
I'm sorry. I don't want to.
no, I just wanted to see if there was any other part of the scene that you wanted to ask about.
No, Gorthon is quite pleased. He thanks the Earl and accepts his gifts generously and goes and joins the party with his out-of-date gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's last year's fashion Gorthon.
So, yeah.
So my question for Jim is, does Gorthrin tell Acewin of Rofus's initial proposal that you take 500 and I take 250, or like that's how does Gorthrin peddle? Because like Acewin knows that she's not getting a full share.
Yeah. Can I don't want to roll a passion. I'd like to roll a passion like a trait, if that makes sense. Or is there a more appropriate trait for like?
Can you tell me what your intention is? Are you trying to be like a cool dude, being like, hey, you dropped your purse, like here, like, hey, the Earl only was able to get you your cut, and like be generous, like, or is that what you're trying to like? What's your intention here of spilling the deets here to?
I mean, I think I've been raising generosity and honest with my last glory bonuses, so I think that Gorthon is just going to hand 375 over and be like, we're going to get it less than a full share, so I evened us out. My gift.
Gorthrin,
you could definitely check generous.
Gorthrin, your kind-heartedness is greater gift than all the Libra in the world, and I'm truly thankful to call you friend.
Thank you. Maybe Till's head.
He gave you Till's head.
Yes, I'm to move there.
And a full share. And I was to get a half share.
Yes.
Till's head and...
To be fair, I did lay the king on the ground.
So the trait that...
I'm generous doesn't mean I'm not also proud.
the trait that I've been pushing with Acewin is just the idea of like getting what you deserve.
Yeah.
And I'd like to test it to see whether or not this is like, should Acewin feel that there's been some unjust thing, not on Gorthrin's part, but in how Rofus is implicitly treating her.
Yeah.
Success.
Lovely. All right, so yes, the Earl is absolutely in his rights to sort of bestow Till's head to Gorthrin over you. That's not the injustice, but the fact that he didn't like talk to you about it or anything like that is pretty disrespectful. Like you weren't on the email chain, if so to speak, right? Yeah, like kind of like that leaving off, like it's basically like kind of microaggressing you every so often. Like you're not getting the full respect that you deserve as a knight of your prominence. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that, and I think that's the thing is like, Acewin doesn't want Till's head. Like she's not Gareth. She's not looking to snatch up every manor left and right. But she was friends with Balin as well. Like, and
Mm.
she didn't do the killing blow or
Oh,
anything, but her presence was not nominal at the ambush that took the king.
Okay.
And so like it's not that Gorthrin is fine having like, yeah, Gorthrin deserves a full share. It's like, yeah, no, obviously. But
yeah.
Rofus is absolutely not recognizing like
You
that
think?
that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Uh, I think. I think you understand Rufus's logic though, and I think that rather than
Yeah.
half glorify 2 knights, he would rather fully glorify 1 knight.
I
Right?
the Gareth brain in me is going, hey, you had this very influential and ruthlessly efficient marshal who shat on you because he could, even though you were the
Yeah.
earl, and he's dead now, and his kid doesn't have any political currency to spend, and his kid's best friend is like very reliable and well known and is not a political animal. So this seems like a very easy way for Rothus to shore up a kind of power base and loyalty in the Gareth brain. And I think Aeswyn does not have
Yeah.
Gareth's ambition, but she is Gareth's daughter.
We'll talk about that because that's absolutely true.
Okay.
Welcome to Castellan drama. You're unfortunately Til's head sits between two castles that hate each other. So good luck.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be real.
They have bad blood. So
Yeah. Do I get any
Yeah.
glory for?
oh hell yeah. So you're getting at least you're getting 500 for Til's head, and then you're getting for the full ransom that you get, it would be another set of glory. It's just sort of the way you're handling it. Also, did you pass the news to Aeswyn that Balin is dead? I guess
yeah.
I kind of had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's we're gonna have a toast or two to Balin at the
Yeah.
feast. Like that's hit
There's
Aeswyn, but
there-
like
they will, yeah, they're gonna announce it more formally and give you sort of like what happened. But yeah, they're it's news. And,
yeah,
you all got to
gonna,
hear it first.
I think I'm gonna earmark. I think I want Aeswyn and Gorthrin to have a longer talk about Gorthrin's rising fortunes later, probably after the feast.
Also, Earl, I'm seated below the salt.
Oh, that won't do. Come to my table with the rest of the Castellans. Oh, she can have your old spot, so you can go below the salt. Is it on the floor? Do you want to roll just here, or like and kind of demand and speak up? Like, do you think like this is the part where you would say like my lord, you're a generous earl, but I've also I contributed to the king, I've contributed here, and like, do you feel like you're undeserving being below the salt?
Absolutely, but I think Aeswyn's canny enough to know this is not the battle that she wants to pick. Not with Rofus, not in Rofus's hall when Rofus is host. No, this is not a big enough hill to die on. But the text, Aeswyn will remember this.
Yeah. It seems like the Earl is needlessly making enemies.
Yeah.
Noted.
Well,
Yeah,
he fucked with the wrong family.
This is what the Earl does. He can't help but in his efforts to make one friend, he will make one enemy at the same time.
Right. He can't help himself. He's just not.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
But yeah. He also wants to show you his baby. Nimue.
Oh, of course, I would love the baby.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Nimue, gorgeous baby.
Okay. Like soap.
It is soapy baby. They can afford soap.
Yeah.
Arthur's got the soap connection. All right. So let's talk about this feast. Let's roll our food. Loach in cold green sauce. Roasted crane.
Loach?
Fish, I believe.
It is a fish. Oh, it's like a fish eel looking thing.
Oh yeah.
That's one of those long guppy kind of kind of boys.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that good one. I'm sure.
In cold green sauce. Nothing goes better with cold slimy fish than a cold green sauce.
See, the problem is that, like, loach in cold green sauce, if that was just the descriptor, my head would be like, oh, that's probably like a fish taco with some, like, a salsa verde. But that's not what we're doing here. So instead, it is on a plate, and it is a fish in some cold pea soup. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Delicious. Well, what we does, sir, is we wait for the pumpkin go a bit green, and then we squeezes it over the fish.
Hey, Gorthon's on his good behavior.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, he's gotta.
Yeah.
But Gorthon other chances to fill that castle.
Right.
Yeah. And you are above the salt, by the way.
Right, so no cards.
Oh, why is the Roll20 window cut off? What? Yeah.
Two.
Also, I don't think you've moved us on Roll20 over.
I am just out of it today. I'm so sorry. Yep, I did not drag you over to the feast. Oops.
There we go.
My bad. Very professional.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. There's a lot that I'm gonna attempt to find out some stuff. Orthred's got a lot of questions about anyone that's heard anything about surveillance.
Yeah.
And anyone that heard anything about this.
The Brown Knight's here, by the way, as a guest.
Brown Knight's here.
So you want to? I interrupted you. What,
yeah, he's like I'm just sort of thinking out loud kind of where I'm at, but I think mostly what he really wants to do is start asking about the Black Tower and People's Night, if anybody is.
Yeah, and ask around what people have heard.
Yeah. So I guess that's intrigue, right? If you're
if you want to, if you're trying to absorb, it's more about your approach than
okay, yeah,
than your intentions here. Right? If you're just being kind of friendly,
circumspect, yeah, he's just like, hey,
yeah.
Anybody heard anything about this? Yeah,
it's more courtesy.
Oh.
But I'd also allow fairy lore.
He's not. He doesn't really know much about fairy lore, but Vorthrin knows how to work the party. So.
Well, test courtesy, and then maybe courtesy will modify fairy lore. Right. Okay. No, people are too busy, and I think there's sort of unbeknownst to you, you're kind of in the midst of the sort of political war happening above the salt table. So you're trying to talk to people, and they're just kind of looking at each other. Everyone, all the rest of the Castellans are.
This Black Tower.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's nice, Gorthrin.
Sure thing, Lord Tillshead.
Yeah.
Like that terrible movie with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis. Welcome to the fucking show.
Yeah. Right.
No, yeah. In fact, no. It's even worse than that, because you get the full of it. But test fairy lore first, because I think people are, because I think it would be more fun if instead they're both trying to almost ingratiate you as you're fresh meat. You're frontline troops to their cold. Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Do I get my genealogy bonus to fairy lore?
Yes. In this case, because it's basically modifying from courtesy. So.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, perfect. So I think it happens kind of in my head the way it worked. Yeah. So you see the various Castellans. They're all trying to ingratiate themselves to you a little bit, simply because they're looking at you as sort of a valuable tool who doesn't understand the landscape of what they're dealing with right now amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of like, oh, you shouldn't listen to them. They fart all the time. Oh, you shouldn't listen. They shouldn't talk to. Fairy lore. Yeah, I mean, my peasants say all this stuff about the woods being so haunted. Oh, that Black Tower? I thought it burned down, didn't it? And they're like, no. I don't know, but I don't know about you all, but my my hedge witch has just been constantly going off and off about some omens lately. I don't know about you, it's just been. I don't, do you have a head witch in Shoulderton? You know, they look at you like how quaint.
We have a priest.
Oh, you should get yourself a hedge witch.
Indeed.
I mean, priests are grand, but sometimes they just have a better.
Or they're just taking a bite of that loach.
Bedside manner. Yeah. Oh, don't listen to them. No, like don't listen. Priests are great, and like you know, like you're just kind of getting swept up
Can you
into
tell
their.
he's being fucked with?
Like
is that
that's an intrigue girl. That's
okay.
an intrigue girl to know.
Yeah, that sounds like a
good. Yeah, that's the right question, and I believe that would tell you. No, everyone, you're everyone's best friend today.
Yeah, witch hunter, right? Or head witch, I guess.
Yeah. Oh. They're like, oh, why would you need a black tower? You're already looking to grab more land, you know? Like, why do you need a black tower? Who cares about that stuff? Look at Salisbury right now. You know, look at the towers all around you. You know, think about
Certainly.
your back. look over the entire feast. You know, from this thing. Like, look, just put on a smile. All right, that'll work.
Yeah.
Look at that smile.
I think Northern would feel a little out of his element. Like, he's over here worried about like fairy stuff. The big boys table.
Or playing politics. Yep. All right. Aceman.
All right. Got some interesting one. Regale the host card. I miss out on Great Deeds, which is just a fantastic card. But this is I'm asked to entertain the high story.
And
I love the idea. Like, Aceman was just passed over for a good seat. And like, they're like, Rufus is like, oh, Aceman, why don't you come up here? And like, she gets up and is like, to tell a story. It's like,
I'm there with you. Do you want to get a knife in your ribs and ask to tell the story about the King Rions or not? To regale that story, or do you think something else?
I would like to invoke my hospitality because I think Aceman wants to be a good guest here, despite her misgivings about how Rufus is treating her. I think a success here is just like, regardless of how I feel about Rufus, I have a duty to be a good guest. And a failure here means, fuck this dude.
Oh, yeah.
Success. All right.
Perfect. All right.
So I roll orate.
Plus 10.
I get a plus 10, so it's an auto success. Just really why I wanted it. I didn't want to leave it to a coin flip.
But no crit, but auto success.
Yeah.
Plus 1 geniality and so you give this, so you give a great story. It's not like it's not the best TED talk you ever listened to. But
I tell a story about Gareth.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the story I tell. I tell a story about Gareth. I think it's incumbent on me, my lord, to speak of someone I knew both too well and not well enough. A man who's agreed by all to have the best interests of Salisbury in mind. Sir Gareth de Winterbourne Garnet.
And you politically strong-arm him into conceding and providing, like in a very sort of exasperated, you got over on me kind of way of a cheer, for Gareth, for those lost, right? And following that, I think he'll sort of call for a broader toast and sort of give the news to everybody. Following after, you're like, thank you very much, everybody. That was a great story.
Not the story I would have chose, but good nonetheless.
I like when you head out, like back down to your seat, you kind of hear the sort of discussion, as you're like leaving the call of they got a lot of potential, oh yeah, but they're talking about you, they're judging you, right?
They got a lot of potential. Well, they should learn how to put their belt on.
Yeah.
So,
You're dressed like a pirate. So yeah, the Earl gives the story as he's heard it from Merlin, and that Balin and Balin died. Supposedly, they fell in a strange accident, in an earthquake, or they're at they're at the castle of King Passur, which is north Silchester, so like
mhm.
east of Redichan, but not quite near St. Albans.
Okay.
And that Merlin at the scene was, well, he didn't give me too many details, but he said the castle was fully collapsed. Not only the king survived, but just by then, by the grace of the Lord, he kind of like just kind of trails off from this sort of tragedy, and so we have lost two great knights this day. No doubt you've heard that storm that came through earlier this year. Merlin has said that this is a warning. That there is great danger by that accident. That castle fell. He didn't give me many details, as Merlin tends to do, but please know that as your Earl, the first thing I wanted to do was ask for the bodies for a funeral and what we can do to send off our finest warriors.
Sure.
But I was unable to be given them. Merlin has been generous enough to put forward a memoriam, a monument for their rest by this castle. That he'll be overseeing it himself. And so if there was anyone who wishes to pay their respects, he's promised this would be him and Arthur have promised that this would be a extreme, exquisite memorial.
Hmm.
The last thing is that he reminded me of a warning that was given to Balin about that sword. I don't know if it came true or not. But on this Easter feast, let's give thanks and trust the Lord. For it is that path that we will, the righteous path that we should all walk on. Don't listen to fucking
Right. Rufus has
guess.
been working on his speech writing skills, or he's
Yeah.
hired someone good.
Yeah.
That was not bad.
Do you want to roll intrigue?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because of the two, I'm not guessing that Rufus got better at something.
Yeah.
Failure.
Oh.
There's a lot going on. Acewin can't track that much yet.
Yes. Correct. Gorthrin, you could. You certainly have a chance to. But you you kind of, I think you will kind of auto pass if you want to, because I think the rest of the high table will kind of comment on it, right? You kind of get that. What's the name of the Muppets?
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, right. Like they're yeah. You all can kind of talk about what before the Earl sits down. What's going on?
Yeah, he'll keep his ear out.
Okay. Yeah. That was not like the Earl at all. No, there's something came over him. I sense Merlin's magic. Yeah, no doubt Merlin didn't leave him with just kind words. Something else. Hmm. Yeah. So that's
Meddler.
the st-
Merlin the meddler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love
Up
him.
to his own tricks again. Hmm.
Mm.
Then I think the conversation stirs to: do you think that it was Merlin's tricks that gave Gorther Till's head? And that's sort of like the part where
Yeah.
you can either choose to hear that part or not. I'll leave it,
I
I'll
mean,
leave it
no,
up to you.
listen, I
Yeah.
think Gorsvern is quickly realizing that he's in over his head, and the best thing that he could do is to just be quiet and listen.
Yeah.
And like,
Okay. Then yeah, they are definitely not treating you like an equal. They think they view you as fresh meat, and all of their senses of friendship and camaraderie is a facade for their power struggles. None of them like the Earl at all, but they also don't want to ever move against him or anything like that, especially considering Arthur. But all
right.
of these folks grew up in anarchy,
Yeah.
and they pay lip service to chivalry. They pay lip service to Arthur's ideas.
Right. And they keep raiding and warring with each other, some little private wars.
Yeah, more like acquisition of land and wealth and stuff like that. Not less of the warfare part, more of the not like assassination, but more of like the I don't want to say skullduggery approach, but yeah, it's a more refined, it's a more refined flexing of power than that. But right, so the mode has changed, but the intentions of acquiring amassing power is not.
Right.
Yeah. Right, your turn.
Turn, second round, 2 extra.
Yeah.
So I think then what Orthron wants to do is that we're talking like Uphaven and Devies, right? Those are the two that are sort of at each other's throats.
Exactly.
Of the two, I guess like let's start with Uphaven. Gorthron just wants to like play dumb and listen to what they've got to like what kind of poison are they trying to feed him, knowing that it's poison and he's not going to believe any of it. So I guess like gossip would be it. I don't know. He just wants to like because they're trying to like set him up for hot air or something, what are they, like he's just gonna like, okay, give it to me because then he could talk to Speederin about it, or he could talk to someone else who might be able to help sort through this nest of vipers he's in.
For sure. Okay. So
I mean?
Yep. So okay. So it's mostly between Devies and Vagon. As like that sort, there's definitely at this table, they do not get along a lot.
Okay, Devies and Vagon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Devies, more specifically, is sort of the aggressor here. Apparently, the last what's his name? The last Earl, or sorry, not the last Earl. No, I guess it would go back to Roderick, not even Jenna. Basically, the Earl had a promise for additional lands and kind of that they would become marshal. However, Vagon like kind of stepped in, and there was some sort of like marriage proposal kind of change, right? And instead they got swindled out, and they blamed Devies blames Vagon for meddling in sort of this deal with the Earl. And since then, it's just been this constant sort of, I don't get along with you. I don't trust you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're feuding.
Okay. Yeah, and Vagon's feuding is more like, I didn't do any of this. You're crazy kind of thing, right? Like they are. Yeah. But by that point, like that's like
40 years of that.
Yeah, there's scars on top of that, right? Yeah. Where that. Yeah. So yeah, but you were asking about Vagon, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, yeah. So so you get them that they are they're very confident and very strong. Militarily, they have they have most of the knights that they can muster. But more importantly, they are they kind of do their own sort of, I don't want to say state politics, but they also
Mhm.
kind of do with Cornwall and stuff, like their neighbors. They tend to sort of have they're really good at making arrangements with their nearby neighbors, which is funny because despite having such good rapport with everyone, they have a hated enemy to their north over it, and they're like, I don't know why you just can't get over this, dude. Like why, like, and it's sort of how it goes.
Okay.
So yeah, Vagon is why did I just can't find their name. I wish so I don't have to just call them Vagon. Oh, Killid.
Right. Okay.
Not Prue's character.
No, that's Clidno.
Yeah,
Clidno. Okay, yeah. But
yeah,
Clidno is a
correct,
Castellan, right?
correct.
So
Bit
you
of a
got at least
difference.
one. You got at least one friend. Well,
Yeah.
friend. We'll put that in quotations marks.
Yeah. So it's not. Oh yeah, Duquesne is. Everybody hated Duquesne.
But yeah, playing sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like real hard. God, uh, I they got one of the Bourne Knights on their side. That will never not bother
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. For
was
real.
such a black spot for Garrett.
Ugh. Right. All right. But yeah, I
God,
think
those
I think
those
Portra's
days.
just gonna just soak it all in.
Oh yeah.
You're soak it up. Got another good one. This time I get to choose. My options were overindulgence. Nah. Keep dancing had some appeal. Aeswin loves to cut the rug with her wife, like always. She's a wife guy. But mercy, my lord, for two reasons. Number one is power gaming. I'm trying to get my merciful up there so I can get my chivalry bonus. But number two, I also just think it's an interesting little moment. Uh, Several ladies ask you how merciful you would be if confronted with your hated foe. I only have one hatred Saxon, which is
Mm-hmm.
9, which is not much lower, I think, than Gareth had it. Gareth started up high and just kept fading down, I think, until he was at like 10 or 12. Um, so I think it's interesting to be asked, like, if you had a Saxon here, what would you do? Right, your most hated foe. All right.
Considering how many people are married to Saxons,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah. So roll that. Oh, that's a success, but that might not beat hatred Saxons if I succeed on that one.
yeah. If you
I
succeed,
fail. So
oh, so the generous wins.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to be merciful, but that's fine.
Oh shit. Was it? Hold on.
I
They're the
mean,
same value.
yeah. I
They're the
think
same value.
the roll stands. I'm just so you know. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not the same. Oh, merciful is a coin flip. Holy shit. Okay.
No, but you still
Still
roll.
success.
Yeah. You still. I mean, the D20 that you rolled is the same. I'm just saying the number that you're supposed to
Oh,
compare it against will change. That RNG is still
fair.
the same die. All right.
I guess that makes
But
sense. So,
you still win.
yeah, I think Acewin, again, kind of leaning here on the quanta of mercy. He's a justice of the heart. I cannot hate a foe so much that I will forsake the justice in my heart, but neither will I forget my hate.
Well said, Acewin. A little bit of mercy in this world does make it feel less cold. And looking at the sauce, the green sauce, yeah, the world could, indeed, the world could definitely be a little less cold.
I often wonder why I was named after a Saxon. So, my hatred of the brutes Can only go so far.
Oh. How much do you know of your father?
Much does anyone know of their father?
Oh.
I we have a chronicler who wrote a damn book about my father.
Well,
And I've read it. And I've heard the stories of people who worked with him in court, stories of the elder knights along the Bourne River, those who were at and survived Alder Gap. It's like there's 7 different versions of my father.
well, this person's history is a 19. I rolled 20, so they actually don't know the story about Ace and the prisoner, and that they know that your dad had a rapport with a prince,
Yeah.
right? Well, perhaps you should talk to that bard. Your father was fond of a bard from London, Martin
Yes. Morgan.
Morgan.
He's staying in our tower right now.
Oh, good.
Squirrely, man.
Bards do tend to come in one size. Yeah, well, speaking of Saxons, except those Saxons ones are meaty.
Saxon bards. Do they even have bards?
Their own. They have storyteller, chronicler, something like that, right?
Oh, no, I think you're thinking of the dogs they train them to howl.
Well done. Beautiful.
I got to check to Merciful. That's the part I was interested in.
Yeah.
Power gaming. Do it.
Mhm.
Anyone who tells you not to power game is a liar, weak, salt their earth.
Game it. All right. Third round.
Indeed.
Third and final round.
Right. It's gonna game.
Ooh.
Genetid. What's it called? Gwenetid.
I'm not gonna butcher the Welsh language again. I'm very sorry about that.
G triple W Y N N N
Or
N
Gaelic
N
or
N D.
whatever.
That's Welsh. Yeah.
All right. Awfully good. India Alley bonus here.
Ooh, nice. Doing well. Let's see. I'm gonna roll 3 different competitors for you. Their skills will be 1995. Ooh, okay.
Oh, yep.
Somebody's mopping up high
got
game.
some.
Let's see. I'm gonna search for gaming skills and who's known for gaming here.
I'll check out.
Ooh, the first one is Sir Kinfan.
Oh,
Sir Kinfan, they are, they're still around. They're the uncle, or they are a illegitimate brother of Elad. So
okay.
they were never able to inherit a castle, which makes perfect sense why you're playing games with these guys.
Yeah, sure. Defeated.
Are you at the nerd table of the hoity-toity table?
Yeah.
No,
Some nerds.
The thing is, yeah, I think it's the opposite. Did you want to wait? So I wish I thought about it a little bit more. Thinking about the clientele you would play with, because they probably would have demanded a wager, because that's the type of people these are.
That's fine.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
Did you just come into money?
Yeah, Gore's flush with.
You left one
promissory
table.
notes.
It's like, you should have stayed at the high table, kid. You left one table of sharks for another. Consider that a free lesson. You want to go again?
Easy come, easy go. Yeah.
I'll even let you win this time.
Let's do it.
You won't. Yeah.
No, I don't want you to let me win. That's not a fair game.
All right. The same 3 go. He's not cheating, but do you want to try to see now that you've gotten sort of that oh, I got swindled, are you sort of playing differently now and trying to learn a little better and try to get an idea of what they're doing?
Yeah.
Would test intrigue for me, because if that is, then I'll let you check gaming regardless of your thing here. Because basically, like you're studying your losses here. Hell yeah!
Nice.
All right, cool. So let's do our gaming test, and regardless, you're gonna get it checked.
Oh, so
Ooh,
close.
so he like beats you like on the river, like whatever it is.
So close.
Oh, hate to see it. Ah, it's a good round. And yeah, the other round's like, damn it. Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, listen, you can't win them all.
Certainly not.
Well, listen, he'll hand you back your winnings, and he'll kind of give you that sort of lesson of the like that you kind of that you're picking up on intrigue, right? Like, and obviously he says some sort of like gaming wise type thing about, like, listen, like this guy's after people are kind of leaving, he's like, stick around for a second, like, like, I mean, in case you didn't notice, the guy smiles every time he rolls well or whatever, right? And like he's kind of giving you these sort of like tells of these different people, saying that like, Gorthram, when sometimes when people want to keep secrets, I guess what I'm trying to say, and he's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, actions sometimes speak just as loudly as words.
Beginning to understand that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the lesson.
Yeah. So you get the honest, helpful gambler trope, surrounded by a bunch of people who are a bunch of sharks and
Right.
dominating.
Gambler with a heart of gold.
Yeah. So the guy who couldn't inherit or do anything, of that on the outside, is also the most honest of the bunch that you've met.
Nice. Very good.
Okay. Not super enthused with these options. More food or more drink.
Mm.
I kind of like wallflower, but I'm wondering if it really fits the wife guy.
Do you want to change? Do you want to honor the flirting part of it? Do you want to modify it? I'd be open to modifying it. I know we don't really want to do it, but we kind of we kind of like honoring the cards in these. But
yeah. But part of me is constructing very risque private life of Aeswyn and Alwina.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would.
We already know of one thruple in Salisbury that happened.
Yeah.
So
it's very, very much like, hey, my wife and I can't help but notice you from across the bar.
Yeah, my wife.
We dig your energy.
Yeah, my wife has a lazy of 19, so she wasn't coming over here. I'm filling out whether that feels like Aeswyn.
Sure.
What's Aeswyn's lustful versus
That's a better interpretation.
Chaste? 10 and 10. So nothing spectacular about it. The main reason I think I want to pick is I don't think more food or more drink is interesting, especially as the last card. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, you know what? This is part of Aeswyn's like trying to capture a little dignity after feeling slighted below the salt. It's like, oh fuck, like I got a hot wife, whatever. I'll try and flex that. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go with that one.
All right.
Flirting, yeah, and flirting 3 + 2 geniality. Correct. So
crit. See who it is. Amazing. Check flirting. I don't think you earn glory for it, but you're definitely checking it. You know what I mean?
No, definitely don't earn glory for this.
It is certainly glorious. Karen. Karan. Let's go. Chiseled physique with elongated face and tan skin.
This is physique, huh?
Stoic but wasteful. They have a merciful trait of 12. They have a terrible They're known for a terrible hospitality of 10, but they are a great dancer. Yeah.
Terrible hospitality. she's here supposed to meet someone or something. She's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm gonna go bang this couple.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for inviting me to your Easter as your +1 to the Easter feast. I'm out. So, yeah.
Nice.
And yep. 3 days later, you emerge from your cave.
In crit flirting.
Amazing. Corone. Making a note in here.
Yeah.
What a game.
What a game. I think I think there's like a plot developing, because like one of the things I've wanted to explore is Aeswyn's relationship. I think it's really interesting that she is with a woman who is way better looking than Aeswyn. Aeswyn's not ugly, but she's tremendously average looking by conventional standards. So she's with someone who's really fucking hot and really lazy. So what's the draw? Like, but what is the thing? And I think we might be finding a little bit of why Aeswyn is so head of heels for Alwina. I think Alwina absolutely knows how to party and is brought that out of Aeswyn. For someone who's very martially minded, a lot of responsibility on their shoulders, knows that they're not the prettiest belle of the ball, to have someone who's into them and is like, oh yeah, you should absolutely go bang that hot chick. Like, I think Alwina's absolutely a source of self-confidence for Aeswyn.
Is it like a streak of hedonism from Alwina? Is like that like part of the laziness of it, being like, why work?
Yes.
Like, why do all? Okay.
Yeah. It's
all right. I'm getting it.
I think she's very drawn. I mean, technically, I think this game sets worldly up as like the kind of you like to party, but I think in this case, it's putting it opposite energetic is like,
yeah,
why? Like, yes, you could go
be busy.
do work, but look how hot I am. Like, it's hot out there and it's hot here. Yeah. This is more fun than you riding the estate the way you usually do. Yeah, I think that's where this has helped clarify something for me with Aeswyn. It's not just me being horny on Maine, to be clear. This is deep characterization.
No, there's
this raunchy lesbianic threesome is deep character exploration. All right, this is not pornographic at all.
No, nothing salacious, nothing going on.
Oh, see, this is the power of role-playing games. Is that they can be they're extremely serious.
Yeah,
very serious. Yep. I'm definitely not debasing myself in front of an audience.
No,
it's fine.
All right, quick glory counts: 60 and 20.
Yeah, I'm at
30?
60.
60 and 30 from the feast.
I got 50.
Ooh.
I made it all up with cards.
Yeah. Right. Perfect. All right. Let's talk about
Easter.
This was Easter. Yeah, Easter 5/15. All right, let's talk about your squires this year.
Yes.
Squires. All right. We have 4 squires to choose from this year. All right, we have the first one. We have Adwani. Adwani is young with a sharp face. They are gregarious, and most importantly, they are prone to duels. They love solo combat. They're not great. But they give as well as they take. If they could just get harnessed, just that, that they get shaped, they have a lot of potential. So that's Adwani. I'll put Adwani duels. Next up is Padaral. Patoral is tiny, but a chiseled physique. He's ambitious, but also kind of terribly whiny. He tends to not care for the knightly life. Like, he probably would have made a better steward. But more importantly, he just doesn't really like, not necessarily like, he doesn't like the earl, but the concept of an earl, and like, why do you want to be loyal? Like, what is the like? Why are we so loyal to him all the time? Like,
See, I was about to be like easy pass, but now I'm like, yes.
No, he has an amazingly low loyalty.
Okay.
His honor is decent. He's not going to be like, that kind of. But there's a little bit more about him, but that's what we know on the surface, right? All these characters, I'm telling you what you know on the surface, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's potentially more. So that's Patoral. I don't want to. I mean, it's not a great selling point, but saying low loyalty is just a way to quick reference. Right. That's like used car, no catalytic converter is the note next to it, which is not great. Let me tell you. Yeah, right.
So
great.
you know what you're getting.
Lovely. Next up is Brugan. Brugan. Brugan is a brawny individual. They talk very quickly. They have been changed because they got lost in the woods last year for a year and were presumed dead, but have returned and they are back to their page program.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The changeling squire. Love it.
Yeah.
And then lastly is Arianwyn. Arianwyn is a large lady with a rat-like face. Their voice is extremely precise. They are serene but deceitful. They are known to be energetic. And they are extremely unlucky with horses. Horses are all suspicious of Arianwyn.
What a crew. What choices you put before us, Eric. Well, Jim, I think you have higher honor and social status.
So of these four,
you have to choose first.
I have to choose first. Hey, all right. Rugen sounds fun, like in a
sounds right up your alley.
It does. Yep. I also like the idea of adding on me, just like Gorthrin having a squire who finally he can mentor. Because I think up until now, Gorthrin's squires just keep me alive in battle, make sure I have my heart of leading horse.
Yeah, right.
But this could be a certain project. All right. Yeah, I think Brugan, given what you said about Dill's head, I think there's a lot of possibility for something to come out of that.
All right.
I'm looking at Arianwyn and a Downey. I think both of them are really interesting cases of potential. Arianwyn, one, I think it's hilarious that she's bad with horses. That's just funny. I love it. As a knight, you're fucked. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But having someone who's that's never going to be their strong suit. So let's foster the other more subtle, kind of less obvious knightly virtues of not having your head up your ass. Might be interesting.
No. Would it be interesting to know and intrigue roll these candidates about what you might have heard about them?
Let's start first. This one is for Arianwyn.
You can pick.
Nope. And this one is for a Downey. All right, so I was kind of leaning towards the Downey.
Okay. Yeah, so a Downey, so here's what you know about them specifically, is that apparently they have a pretty, that they what the reason, you know why they're fighting so hard for dueling.
Oh,
They have a high hatred of Saxon.
love it. That's something I can work with.
And that they are,
I just talked about
that is their drive.
I just talked about this at the feast. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. A Downy, you're mine.
Yep.
A Downy, do we have where he's from or?
Downey. 1 second. I have Roundway, but I don't know where that is. That's the first time it's ever come up, and I have no idea where that is.
It feels familiar.
And Bruggen is from Potternen, Potterne. So, and Bruggen and Pottern. If I bring us over to the Salisbury map, we might be able to find them. But I think it's also just generally
There's Pottern.
Perfect. Oh, Roundways. Oh my God, they're literally all.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got neighbors.
Yeah, you got neighbors, and that makes perfect sense. So they're north of the Croakwood. Oh yeah, we never even talked to these folks up here.
Seriously, the closest we ever got was what, Little Cheverell or West Lavington?
Yeah, West Lavington.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. Well, Tilsad's gonna be good talking to them. But yeah, right. Oh, that's good. Beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah, where's Bruggen from?
Pottern.
Oh, it's Pottern. Okay.
Yeah, which is all the way up there. Yeah.
Oh, and there's going to be some culture shock. These people all the way from like this, what I can only imagine is like kind of marshy land because it's between two like elevation, and we've got a bunch of rivers kind of coming out from there.
Yeah.
So I imagine it collects water pretty well.
Oh yeah,
coming
it's
all the way
down.
down.
It's 100% floodplain. Like,
yeah. Coming down here to the fucking chalklands of east of Sarum,
like, right?
Like, yeah,
the high plain.
Like it's literally called the Blake Moor Wood. Like yes, it is muggy and damp, and it is not good.
It's like our default is dry, and then sometimes the water on the river rises, and then we can't cross the river. It's like, oh, you come for it's wet all the time. It's wet, and sometimes
you
dry.
don't.
They're just like a day away.
Where are the mosquitoes? Like they get over here. Where? I don't understand.
Oh, you have to ride east until you get to Silchester.
Yeah.
little regional humor for you all. Hey, Swin.
Oh. Damn. Very smart.
All right.
Perfect. Okay then.
They start at 15 years old.
Yeah, they start at 15. Cool.
Useless fucks. We'll learn them.
All right. Going into next session, do we want to pick up on the tower and follow that mystery together and deal with internal politics?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I had. That's what I have here.
Yeah,
so I figured.
All
right, cool. So I'll keep that focus on it.
Still want to earmark that conversation with Gorthrin between Aeswin and Gorthrin. I don't think we need to have it now, but
good. But yeah, we got started a little late. Wanted
to. We can if you want. But I thought we were winding down.
Let's save it for next time. I think.
Okay. We can start with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it'll be a good lead into the adventure.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. All right then. Cool. Then that will end our session today. Man, this game's fun. I love this stuff.
Awesome.
So good. So good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah. I always say it, but I really do. I love you two playing with me, and I love how much you get into like the psychology a little bit of like why you're motivated to do the thing you do, and getting that out is super fun. So
I really appreciate having Jim to bounce off of for these. We both approach our characters in similar enough ways that we jive, but different enough ways that I think it for me it provokes thinking about my character in a little different way than I usually do.
For sure, definitely.
Quick timeout. We didn't go over your shoulder. The
Nightly Order.
Yeah, the Nightly Order.
Yeah,
intentional.
Yeah. No, I just
Oh,
thought we didn't have time for it.
Okay.
um, I mean,
But
there's
during the
not much.
feast, like,
Yeah, there's not much. I didn't have like sort of scenes or anything set out. It was just like, because I also don't really know how the process works.
oh,
I
it would
think
kind of happen after Easter, like before you're heading out and stuff like that. You're like, listen, my lord, I need to talk to you. Like I've been
so.
thinking
It
about
is.
this thing,
I
and
need the sanction from the earl.
oh yeah,
Okay, I thought that might be the case, but wasn't sure.
um, yeah. I will tell you that the earl would probably do it. But you probably have to pay him like a fee, right?
Yeah, that
That's
scans.
usually how it goes. It's the same thing with castles, right? Like you have to
Yeah,
pay a crenellation fee is what it's called.
love it.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm fine with that. In fact, I was actually going to set a bunch of this money aside and like commission, like for anyone who joins is going to get like a thing. I
yeah.
figure out what that thing is, like maybe a special gauntlet or some shit. I
Oh,
don't know.
cool. Yeah.
Um, okay, yeah, I'll pay if that's what it takes.
A
I'll pay
piece of
him.
the chalky rock. Yeah.
mhm.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll come up with the total, and we can negotiate it if you want. But yeah,
Not
okay,
a problem. No, I
awesome then.
definitely again
Yeah.
not negotiating. Acewin's going to bide her time. He's
Right.
not rocking the boat yet.
What
When you
was
come at
the
the earl, you best come correct.
what was the glory total for the ransom?
I thought you got the glory for the ransom already.
Was that included in the 500?
Yeah, I thought you got it. I thought you got the glory that year, and then
Oh
the
yeah,
money
yeah,
Yeah.
is
we
coming
did.
afterwards.
Okay, I thought there was a separate.
Yeah, we
double
did break
dipping
it
doesn't
up, but
make
I think
sense.
you got that because of the story and everyone having it right then. But then the money
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
time to come over from Ireland.
Cool.
All right,
Okay,
that's good.
good question. All right then, cool. Then we will pick up next week with more Pendragon, and we'll probably wrap up 515 because it's going to be sort of like our own little year here, and keep moving.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you next week.